Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra!
Hey guys, and welcome back to another part of What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Yujiro Hanma. I'm going to be continuing all the other parts of the animes that I've done in the past, such as what if Naruto had Jiren's powers, what if Goku landed in Fairy Tail, what if Goku landed in Naruto, what if Deku and Todoroki were brothers and everything. I'm going to be finishing all that soon. Also, gonna give the channel new birth to new what ifs, so to keep it fresh, that you guys see something new, every once in a while, just so we don't stick to the same pattern of showing the same what ifs over and over and over, because that does get boring. It's some things that I like to talk about, and it's some things that I would like to discuss and want to see on the channel and everything. And this was one of them. So I don't want to waste you guys any time, because I want to get into this story, because this story is epic. It's already getting interesting. So as we left off, Naruto just twisted one of the demon brothers' necks, broke the leg of a demon brother, and then choked the demon brother out. Got excited because Tazuna told him that it was like maybe a B rank or A rank mission. And this is where Naruto's hair would float up in the air, and he's excited about this. He wants more of this. So it will continue, and now we run into mist. Mist is everywhere. Well, Naruto would say, why is that bunny white? It's not even winter. This is where Naruto would sense a huge sum of danger coming their way, as mist would start rolling in, and this is what Kakashi would tell the team to duck. Naruto, on the other hand, didn't duck. Didn't need to duck. Soon as the blade of Zabuza was coming rushing at Naruto like furious speed, Naruto would catch the blade, and in the mere instant when he catched it, cracks would start to form on the blade. And this is where Naruto, with his bare hand, would snap Zabuza's blade in half. Zabuza would be into shock as a child snapped his sword in half. And this is where Naruto would say, only a coward hides behind mist. If you seen what I just did. So do you really want to fight me like this? This is where the mist would clear, and we see the one of the 7 deadly swordsmen, Zabuza Momochi. Zabuza would say to Naruto, "Kid, that's some impressive strength you got there. You must have been training all your life." And this is where Naruto would say, "Yes, I have. I've been training just to get stronger, just to get powerful. So stuff like that, I won't be afraid of. Your sword was just mere paper. It was like me ripping a piece of paper in half. That's how easy it was just to break your sword." This is where Sasuke would have a sweat as long as Sakura and Kakashi would say in his head, "How strong is this guy?" Sasuke would say, "Is this really Naruto?" And Sakura would be just scared to notice how strong Naruto has gotten while she's useless. Kakashi would tell Naruto that he can handle this, and Naruto would look at Kakashi and saying, "Okay, don't screw up." So Naruto would sit back, and Kakashi and Zabuza would get in their same battle stance and all that kind of stuff. And Kakashi would end up getting caught just like he did in canon. And Naruto would say, "So, Kakashi, you can handle this, right? You told me that you can handle this. And as a student, I was supposed to put my faith in you, but you ended up getting caught. So what lesson do I need to learn from there?" Naruto lets out a sigh as he looks at Zabuza and says, "Either you let my sensei go, or you're gonna lose an arm." Naruto would look at Zabuza, and Naruto would just pull out a kunai. And this is what Naruto would be spinning it around his finger. I don't normally use these things, but in this particular situation, I'm gonna make an exception, Zabuza. So I will only say this once more. Either you let my sensei go, or you're gonna lose an arm. Zabuza would feel the immense bloodlust emitting from Naruto, and Naruto would just be sitting there with a grin on his face, absolutely confident of his skill and what he can do. See, Naruto has been training a long time for this, and I feel like his skills are unparalleled. Not unparalleled, but I feel like his skills are up to Yujiro Hanma, who was 12 years old. This is where Zabuza, out of just straight fear, would let Kakashi go and back up. He would back up so far that this Zabuza has sweat coming down his face, like he's shaking all over. This is he's felt fear. This is overwhelming fear that Zabuza's felt, because in his head, no doubt, his arm was gonna get cut off. That kid wasn't kidding. Zabuza would feel angry, as there's no way in hell this kid is that strong. He would rush at Naruto, feeling like disgusted with himself that he backed up from a child. Naruto would just throw the kunai on the ground and get into a stance similar to how Yujiro is, with his hands raised into the air. Naruto and Zabuza would get into a taijutsu battle, but Naruto would be having the upper hand, sending countless blows to Zabuza's body, as Zabuza would try to counter Naruto, but Naruto's speed and punches were too heavy for him. Naruto, in this midst, we do a little flashback of him and the Nine Tails. Now, this is something I want to mention. The Nine Tails has a human form, but the Nine Tails, human form, looks more akin to Yujiro Hanma. Yes, the Nine Tails human form is Yujiro Hanma, but it's not a Hanma, but just say it's Yujiro Hanma. They would get into a fist battle. That's where Naruto's overwhelming strength would come from, as him and the human form of Nine Tails would get into fist frosts, and the Nine Tails would be akin to Naruto's nature. It would like Naruto's style and everything, and the Nine Tails and Naruto would become friends very much earlier. But I'll explain more down the road with the Nine Tails human form being that of Yujiro Hanma. Anyway, we get back into the main story of Naruto and Zabuza going at it toe to toe, with Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke basically looking at them in awe. As Naruto would kick Zabuza to the ground, you see a plume of smoke and rocks just fly everywhere. Zabuza's really injured and hurt, and this is where you see Tsunban flying his neck. Naruto would see some kind of Anbu there that came in and saying that he is responsible for Zabuza, and he will take care of the rest from here. Naruto will shrug his shoulders, as it has nothing. Well, right now, Naruto views Zabuza as weak and not worth killing at all. And if you think that's not Yujiro Hanma's nature, it is. Yujiro Hanma, his nature is that if he views you as weak and not even worth killing, he's not even going to bother with you or attempt to fight you. He's not even going to waste his time on you. There we go. So, with that, Zabuza is gone with Haku, and as we know as Haku, and they continue and proceed with Tazuna saying, "Kid, just how strong have you gotten? What kind of training did you put yourself through?" "Well, I studied all forms of martial arts, basically taijutsu, and I've been training with my fox power. You see, the nine-tailed fox has a name. Well, he hasn't told me yet, but he said he will tell it to me someday. I've been training with him, and I've been learning to control my chakra, learning to control my power. It's what's made me strong. You see, I aim to be the strongest shinobi in the ninja world." And he would look at Tazuna with a smile on his face and saying, "That means I'm going to challenge every last strong person in this world, and I'm going to beat them down, no matter what." Naruto would say, as he continues to walk with Tazuna. This is where Sasuke will feel a little bit intimidated as to the fact that Naruto's stronger than him. Naruto had... Everything it's making Sasuke angry more sooner, to the point where Sasuke's craving the same amount of power that Naruto has. Kakashi, they would get there, and Kakashi wouldn't feel too exhausted, as he didn't have to exert much chakra, so he would spend time training Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto, he would offer to train Naruto, and Naruto looking at Kakashi saying, all that I can already do. Naruto would walk up trees, basically showing that he has the basic amount of skill sets of chakra down. Naruto will just jump back down and saying, there's nothing basic that you can teach me, Kakashi. I have been training for a very long time. My life has been nothing dedicated but training and honing my skills. Even I trained with the Anbu. Something that you used to be a part of, didn't you? And this is where Kakashi would say, yes. Well, anyway, I don't have really much for you. You don't have really much to teach me, so I'm going to do my own sets of training. So Naruto would go on his own, basically using his shadow cones and practicing various amounts of fighting styles. See, Naruto's become keen with the fighting styles that he learned, but he can also become very proficient, very potent, very perfect at his move sets. So Naruto would be punching, kicking, throwing off various amounts of blows and everything, just hitting the air. Naruto would be punching a tree with the tree just ripping in half by a single punch. Naruto would be hitting basically in a stance, somewhat similar to, I don't know if you guys have watched Hunter x Hunter, but somewhat similar to how Netero was in a stance, and he would just be throwing out punches just like that, or he would get into a Taekwondo stance and just throw kicks up into the air. Naruto would be practicing a lot of his styles and techniques and stuff like that with, he would lose track of time. Team 7 would be on the bridge with Tazuna, and this is where the attack with Zabuza and Haku would come in to commence. Now, Naruto noticed that he wasted a lot of time, keeping in fact that he was getting too, carried away with his training. So Naruto would instantly put on his clothes and rush over there. Let's say the shirt that Naruto has on is orange, and the pants that Naruto has on is black, and the shoes are just like the ninja style in the Leaf Village. Anyway, I just said it's like Yujiro shoes. I wouldn't say it's the Leaf Village shoes, it's like Yujiro shoes, so I'm not going to change that fact. So Naruto was rushing to the bridge and everything, and this is where we see Kakashi engaging with Zabuza. Naruto's going to let Kakashi handle Zabuza while he goes to help Sasuke with this familiar person that he hasn't seen, as Naruto was too busy training and everything. And this is where we come to the commence. Let's do a little flashback. So this girl, or whatever this was, came into the woods while Naruto was training and thought to interrupt Naruto, with Naruto saying, listen, woman, man, whatever you are, if you interrupt my training, I'll kill you where you stand. I do not care what you're doing or what do you want. Go on about your business and leave me be. Right now, I'm in the middle of training. Unless you want to fight, that is. I'll gladly stop my training if you want to fight me. And this is where the Haku would say, nah, no worries. I'll just leave. Because Haku himself would feel the bloodlust emitting from Naruto, as Naruto would just get back into his training. So now we're at the bridge, and Naruto went over there to help Sasuke, and Sasuke was trapped in the demon ice mirrors or something like that. This is where Naruto and Sasuke will be commenced in a battle, and Naruto would ask the Nine Tails, hey, Nine Tails. And he said, what, boy? I'm wondering, can I destroy these ice mirrors with the sound of my yell? And he's saying, I don't see why not. So Naruto would stand up and say, Sasuke, I got this. Naruto would seep in as much air as he could and send out a ferocious yell, similar to remember how when Jack Hanma tagged out of the battle with when he was going against Shikarashi, whatever his name is, and the other dude came in that was throwing sand at his ass, and when he was throwing sand at the dude's ass, and then he just, before he came in, people was booing him, and he let out this ferocious yell. Somewhat similar to that, but it was way much stronger, and it destroyed the ice mirrors. This is where Sasuke would fly past Naruto saying, you will not get the better of me, Naruto. I will not let you get ahead of me, or something like that. And Naruto has an eyebrow raised looking at Sasuke, and Sasuke just stabs into Haku. And this is where Sasuke's hand would be going through Haku's heart. And Sasuke would repeat the line saying this, "You're too soft." And he would unsheathe, like take out his hand, and Haku would fall to the ground. This would make Naruto raise eyebrows and get like interested in Sasuke, as Sasuke does have that killing intent. He will not hesitate to kill an opponent in front of him. This is where Naruto will keep an eye on Sasuke, because he could be a potential great rival someday, probably. Anyway, so Kakashi would kill Zabuza, and they wouldn't get that happy ending or the top no jutsu that you've seen in the original canon. Now, Gato's men would show up, and this is where Naruto would walk up to them and saying, "So you're all the people that had these people. Well, you're all the thugs that had these people under your control. A lot of you are armed with weapons. None of you will be able to penetrate my skin. As for the fat, short guy with the glasses, I'm going to rip your throat from your neck. And I'm going to kill each and every one of you with my bare hands." This is where Naruto, for a 12-year-old, Naruto's incredibly fit. Like, incredibly fit. So Naruto's shirt would begin to rip off. And this is gross. I'm going to say this to give a 12-year-old this, but since you guys want it, I'm going to do it for you. So Naruto would smile and say, it's about time I show you all something I've been hiding, something that I have embraced. Naruto would lift his arms into the air as his shirt began to rip off of his little like stature, and it would show a face in his back, a laughing, hungry demon face in Naruto's back. This reddish aura would be emanating from Naruto as Naruto rushed at the crowd. Like, all you hear is the guy screaming, bones cracking, Naruto punching, laughing, stomping, slamming. And then all Gato's seeing in front of his eyes is this child just taking out each and every one of his men. Every time they swung a sword or tried to chop down on Naruto or tried to cut at Naruto or tried to punch at Naruto, it would be countered with fast strikes and kicks. And this one guy tried to jab at Naruto's eyes with some kind of knife or something like that. And you see Naruto basically grabbing the guy's fingers and bending them backwards to the point that all of them, like, they broke. Even Naruto would jump up in the air and just do a spinning kick, and his kick, when he kicked someone in the jaw, sent all their teeth just flying out of their mouth, and the guy would just hit the ground with blood just gushing from his mouth as Naruto landed on his head, basically crushing it through, like, in the concrete of the bridge. As the men would fall to the ground, most of them dead and screaming in agony, or most of them just dying slow of the pain, Naruto's hands would be soaked in blood, as his outfit would have blood stains all over it. Well, blood splatter. Naruto would be looking as his red hair just floated in the air, shirtless. Naruto would be walking towards Gato, looking at him, saying, "So, you're scared, aren't you? So all that hatred, all that torture you put this family through, you deserve to die." And in the quick moment, Naruto with his hand just, and Gato's head just comes clean off, and he falls down. Naruto turns back to his teammates, with some of them scared at the fact that Naruto is nothing to be messed with. His training did turn him into a demon, and Naruto embraced that. Naruto just turned back to his team and said, "I handled the problem. Now, that means this is a mission complete." So everything would go as normal, but Kakashi would say, "What is this kid? He really is some kind of demon." Naruto's back would go back to normal as his muscles. So Naruto would look like a fit Killua. I would say that like that. He would look like a fit Killua. And I'm not going to say Naruto was too buff. When he flexed, just imagine Killua flexing and having a demon back. But he's like more buffer and more like leaner than Killua. So Naruto and his team would head back to the village. And this is where it would be a mission complete. Now we're going into the tuning exams. And this is where Naruto would run into Konohamaru. Well, he wouldn't run into Konohamaru yet. Let's just say this, that when they got back, Sakura would go her own way with Sasuke denying just like going anywhere with her. Naruto would say that he's going to train and that Sakura should do some training of her own, as whatever mission we go on next could be very dangerous for you. You should try to hone your skills as soon as possible, Sakura. And Naruto to walk away, not before running into Konohamaru, with Konohamaru saying, Naruto, I'm gonna beat you this time, and Naruto saying, you're not gonna beat anything, kid. I don't know how many times you're gonna try this foolish act, but you need to grow stronger before you challenge somebody that's way out of your league. And Naruto and Konohamaru would be sort of having this distant, like Itachi Sasuke friendship, but just a little bit more distant, with Naruto not trying to pay attention to Konohamaru. Basically, he's like that annoying fly that will not go away, so Naruto just tolerates him. Let's say it like that. Now, we go into the part where Konohamaru would bump into... what's that nigga name? Let me know in the comments what the guy name was, but I'm going to call him Puppet Master. So he would run into the Puppet Master dude, and this is where he would pick him up by the shirt. And he would say, you need to watch where you're going, kid. And this is where Naruto would grab Kankuro's, that's his name, Kankuro's hand. And he would break his hand, or break his wrist. And wrist, not wrist. He would break his wrist, and he would say, you know, that's the third Hokage's son. You lucky I don't kill you where you stand. And Kankuro would, my wrist. And this is where Tamari would get in defensive mode and saying, so you're going to fight me right here? He's the one who started it by picking up the third Hokage's grandson. If you want a fight, I will gladly give you a fight, as I'm itching to fight someone strong. This is where Naruto would sense Gaara, and he would say, I know it's another one of you here. Would come out from hiding, I know you're there. This is what Gaara would, eyes open wide, and then he would appear, and he would be very much interested in Naruto, very much so than he was in the original canon. Sasuke would be watching all this from the tree, and he would be amazed by Naruto and asking, like, saying in his head, like, how is Naruto getting so how did he get so strong? Naruto is probably on Jonin level at best. How did he get this? It's just making Sasuke very, very angry to the fact that Naruto is leagues ahead of him. So now we cut to the part where Kakashi tells the whole team about the tuning exams and all that stuff right there. So we're gonna save that for the next part. Anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and you already know the deal. Plus Ultra. Good night, guys. If you guys want a part 2 to this, 150 likes. But probably just 100 likes.